Hey, Sooner fans. Welcome back to another Champion Standard podcast. We survived. We rallied yesterday. What an exhausting fourth quarter. We rallied for a nice 27-21 victory in Auburn yesterday. Just a gritty game. Just, hung around. And then we managed to turn tragic into magic in the fourth quarter.
Heck yeah.
That was something.
Sooner magic, man.
Sooner Magic. We have to play that card a couple times a year, so we used it once already yesterday. That was something. Um, I know you and I were talking a little bit before the big play there in the fourth quarter, but um, we needed something special to happen, and
Yeah, you called it.
we
You
were
you
talking.
called me up. We need Torrance Marshall pick six right here, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, that was
It's gonna
something.
happen. We
Right,
need it.
right on cue.
Boom. And I was like,
Yeah,
golly.
what a play! Just a
Yeah, yeah.
huge momentum swinger. I actually felt like when, we can get into more of it here in a minute. I felt like when Auburn went up 21-10, they almost felt they almost kind of felt like, okay, they got the game in hand.
Yeah.
Kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, or just kind of took it for granted at that point. And that's kind of when we woke up, and they really couldn't grab the momentum back from us. And
Nope.
so it was just an ultimate momentum shift there in the fourth quarter. So great win. Good to get win number 4. It doesn't matter how you get it. Doesn't matter whether you deserve it sometimes. Just like you said, we probably didn't deserve to win the game, but we did it anyway.
Yeah, we
Um,
stole it from them. That
yeah,
was we took that W from them. RMT, RSJ, Kip Lewis, the defense, they just took their lunch money, man.
yeah.
Stole.
What's the phrase? You snatched defeat from the jaws of is it the other way around? You snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, I think is the phrase.
There you go.
We definitely did that yesterday.
Heck yeah.
Before we get into our 5 takeaways from the game and some of our highlights and videos from yesterday, I want to thank our sponsors, Woodworks Distillery. I'm sure y'all were very busy yesterday after the game. Maybe before. Yeah, that was one of those games where a little liquid courage or whatever you want to call it was really needed yesterday. Um, please like, subscribe before I forget. Really appreciate all the subscribers out there, and just appreciate all the support we're getting for our podcast. Rob puts in a ton of effort behind the scenes getting ready for these, so it's much appreciated. All right, so you ready to jump in here?
Yeah. Let's
Let's
do
see.
5 takeaways.
5 takeaways. I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the atmosphere. This was the first road game for OU in hostile SEC territory. Auburn's never an easy place to play, and
Mm-mm.
I really thought, Michael Hawkins, true freshman on the road, first game, did a really good job of staying composed, taking care of the football. I really need to mention that first. We did not turn the ball over, and obviously that was huge in a game like this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, maybe the game plan was a little conservative for him, which is fine. Just, slowly. He made the plays when he needed to there in the fourth quarter. So I just really wanted to give some recognition to Hawkins and just, played a really, really great game for a true freshman like that in a
Mm-hmm.
hostile crowd. So that's my first takeaway. Second takeaway, defense. Defense played, another good game. I'm not going to say, this was a great game. Gave up way too many plays over the top. Without those 3 or 4 big plays over the top, maybe we're keeping Auburn down to 10 points or something. Another good
Mm-hmm.
defensive showing, if that's the case. They played good, played great when they needed to down the stretch, which is really what you want. Being able to have a a fourth quarter defense that, can step up like they do. That's twice now that they've been able to step up and make some huge plays in the fourth quarter.
Yep,
Uh,
yep.
is just a good thing to see. I thought, yeah, really need to shore up some of those big plays. Tennessee made some, Auburn made some this week. Just big, long, whatever 30+ yard touchdown plays. Those things have to be kind of the rare occurrence now instead of the norm. You can't be
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
up game in and game out.
Yeah, and I felt like in the Tennessee game, they got us good. I mean, we had bad positioning. They hit, Nico hit the receiver in stride, boom, 60-yard touchdown. Um, we made adjustments, moving our defenders into the RPO window, made it a little bit tougher. Woody was driving down on the ball a lot harder, and getting some. He had a great breakup. In this game, I felt like our corners were in great positioning. I felt like they weren't. They were playing the right. They were playing the ball. They were playing as if they were out of phase, meaning like if you're in phase, you're hip to hip. You've earned the right to turn and look. That's kind of the where you kind of as a DB, if you're hip to hip with the receiver, you've earned the right to be able to turn up and look for the ball and make a play on the ball. If you're not and you're out of phase or the guy's got you stacked or got you beat, then you go for hands and I mean essentially you go for hands. You karate shot him.
Mm,
I felt like we had good positioning. I feel like Des had good positioning. We'll look at it. Maybe I'm
right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Peyton Bowen on his later in the game, he lost his balance. He was in great positioning. It looked like the Auburn receiver gave him just a little bit of a push, just a little bit,
No.
and Peyton Bowen, just lost his balance and they made a play. But Dez, I felt like his two passes, I felt like he was in phase. I'm not a DB coach or whatever. It looked like he was in the hip pocket, and it looked like he could have turned and look. I felt like he earned that, but um, it's a little bit different. A little bit different. Tennessee was coming, on those post routes. These
Hmm.
guys were trying to play bully ball on the fade route, so you have to play it different. So
Right. Right.
but yeah, they grabbed those good three deep balls on us that kept them alive or scored a touchdown, get up on us. So um, you take like you said, you take those out of the way, and early they had that run game, but we
Hmm.
were slowly making adjustments and slowly figuring out that first half run game, and we were making adjustments as we went through the game, and we had that. I mean, they only averaged like 3 yards a carry or something like that. So um, yeah,
Yeah. And every good defense gives up good plays. Watching the Auburn Georgia game, those are two excellent defenses. Final score 41-34. I mean, they gave up tons of big plays. So
hmm
we're not the only, really good defense immune to some, big plays here and there. I
sure,
mean, it just
yeah, yeah,
happens across the country. And as the season goes on, I'm probably getting a little bit critical of the defense, and I shouldn't. We've all of a sudden we feel like we have a good, great. I don't know if it's elite defense, and
it's elite,
so
it's
so
elite,
so it's easy for us to pick on them when they only gave up 21 points, you
yeah,
know, and I don't know what
no,
the average is. They're still giving up less than 20 points a game, so we're nitpicking. I get it, but
right, we are
they showed up when they needed to, and
absolutely.
that's really what matters. So. Um, Moving away from the defense, I mentioned the defense, I mentioned the atmosphere and Hawkins, but third takeaway, and I'll kind of combine these, but the offense, you know, Michael Hawkins had that run early. We went up 7-0, and then we disappeared for 2.5 quarters or more.
Yeah,
I mean, disappeared.
yeah,
Had a field goal, until the fourth quarter. So just struggled. Offensive line, I thought, played better at times. We're slowly getting healthy, and maybe we'll get the same unit of first teamers out there and just slowly get a little better on the offensive line. I thought there was times where they looked like they um, I just felt like there was a little bit of improvement over the Tennessee game. um, and of course Michael Hawkins being his first game, I know all, they were just trying to be conservative with their play calling, but I thought they blocked better at times, gave him a pretty clean pocket. He's going to get antsy on the road when you got
Right.
80,000.
Yep.
You're going to get antsy and just take off. He ran a lot more than what he needed to, but that's just freshman hitting the panic button a little bit. And when he runs, it's not the worst thing in the world. Sometimes we saw that with that one long touchdown.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, they just disappeared for a couple of quarters. We just got to have more consistency when we're playing the Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss. If you're gonna, be able to keep score with them, just got to have more consistency. Um, and I mentioned the fourth quarter, being able to make those touchdown drives like they did. Michael Hawkins, second week in a row, sacrificed his body, trying to get 2 points. The guy he does not care.
You
Uh,
can watch that play 1,000 times and not get like sick of it. I mean, like it is so awesome. It is
mm-hmm.
such a great play. It reminds me of the John Elway run for a touchdown in the Super Bowl with the helicopter.
Yep.
Remember that? The
Yep.
helicopter dive. I'm a Chiefs fan, so I was rooting against him, but I still appreciate it. Hawkins, that yeah, I know twice in a row now he's gone
Mm-hmm.
airborne
Mm-hmm.
in order to get some points.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Woo!
know. Don't.
You
I,
can't love but follow that, man. You
I
can't love
know.
but follow
I
it.
know. And I'm good with one of those a game, especially when it's a critical moment. But just please don't make a habit of it.
As
Yeah,
long
it
as he
was.
stands up and he's celebrating, I don't care what he
Yeah, that's
does.
right. That's right.
He's celebrating. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Probably want to be a little bit safer.
Yep.
Stay
Yep.
on the ground a little bit. But he takes flight, man. He's the hawk.
He does. He was the hawk, and he did his best impersonation of one. That's for sure. Um, I'm gonna include Zach Smith here with the offense, but made a critical kick there at the end of the game. He's great on kickoffs. I'll include Elzinga in there. I know it's special teams, but what a great job he did punting.
Yeah,
Um,
great.
I,
I
I,
mean,
I,
he put it in textbook spot, man. Like deep and to the sideline. Yeah, Elzinga is a good one.
he is average punt. Uh, he averaged 48. Auburn's average 49. Both those are great averages, but yeah, 5 punts, average 48. Not more you can ask for from our,
No
our
returns
punt
though.
game.
I mean,
Mm-mm,
he pinned him back over and over again.
he did. Yeah. Uh, I mentioned the offensive line, the atmosphere and the defense. Really, the fifth takeaway for me, it really doesn't have anything to do with the game other than the fact, it's a bye week finally. Man, we've needed like 3 bye weeks. I wish we could have had a bunch of bye weeks mentioned. Finally, we get a bye week.
Yeah,
We can
got an
we can
opportunity to get healthy.
get healthy, get some guys rested. Hopefully, you get, I don't know, 3 or 4 more guys back here in a couple of weeks. But just an opportunity to reset. Let guys sit in some ice baths and get treatment, and
Yeah,
just get prepared for the next stretch ahead of us. We got a long stretch starting with Texas and just
Ole Miss,
filled with all kinds of
South Carolina.
ranked teams uh, down the road. I know we got another bye week, I think in November, and of course we got the main game, so that'll be a bye week somewhat as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a good time to get healthy. Great win. Um, just yeah, just I know we were discouraged there through the third quarter, but man, fourth quarter just what
Yeah,
a
we will relive those moments.
exactly
Golly.
exactly.
One
Yeah.
other player I want to highlight before we end, Jake Taylor coming back.
Mm.
Jake Taylor comes back. He had a great game. We'll take a look at him.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
actually added a run concept because he came in. This offensive line has struggled with pulling for whatever reason, pulling, and Jake Taylor came in and they instantly added the dart concept, and they only ran it a few times, but I felt like him coming back, he's got to be one of the better pull offensive linemen that can pull. So if they added that and specifically for him to come in for this game, but I felt like Latrell did add some run concepts, and I think we're starting to see what he really wants to. We've been saying if we get healthier, we'll start adding more concepts in there. We just need to get healthier and get more guys back, and we can start running the things that we want to get to. And I think in this game, we actually kind of see a few things that they're trying to build upon. And but I thought Jake Taylor had a good game. Who else? I mean, you mentioned Elzinga. I thought he had a great game.
Yeah,
Of course,
I hope I mentioned Kip
yeah. Well, yeah. I
and
mean,
okay.
defense, Kip,
Yeah, R. Mason did his thing again in the fourth
RSJ,
quarter.
RSJ sack every game is
Mhm. Mhm.
automatic. It's
Mhm.
coming. You don't know when, but RSJ is automatically getting a sack. RMT is getting a
Mhm.
sack. Like there's a really cool formation that they put out there. I thought was really cool. They didn't really get to do much with it, but I really liked the personnel that was on the field. So we'll take a look at that. But yeah, I mean the team did good. I know that Auburn ran the ball 3.3 yards a clip, but the run game there early, we'll take a look at that later too. So, is that all you got for takeaways?
Yeah, yeah, that's all my takeaways right now. If we want to move on to some highlights and videos and stats and
Yeah,
all that good stuff.
yeah. Let's go ahead and um let's go into the stats. All right. So this is just a offensive play-by-play breakdown. Uh, Average yards gained of all our plays was 7.2. Third down distance, average was 8.9. Average starting position was 65. We had 10 drives. We scored on 4. 43% of our run plays were gaps. 57% was zone. I mean, that number is starting to get more and more to the center. We were more like 60 40, 62-38, and that's starting because I think you're starting to get players coming back, and so they're starting to be able to run some more power plays instead of
Mm.
inside zone, and that's a good thing. That's a very very good thing. Just coming down here, offensive yards gain, quarterback rush scramble was our obviously with Hawk taking flight there, getting a 50-yard, 48-yarder run for a touchdown. Here's a 60-yard fade by Hester. We had some wheel routes. Bauer got one. Screen game, so we ran screen probably I have it listed for about 9 times, 11 times through the first 4 games, and we ran it 7. So, like,
Mm.
we definitely are trying to spread, because remember our last show, we talked about how everything's contained in a little box,
Mhm.
and they weren't stretching horizontally, they weren't going over the top. Now we're starting to work the screen game with our tight ends and our receivers like Thompson, which is a good thing. We got to get something going, so they're starting to push it to the sideline, get those guys, get the defense going east west. Dart. So that what I was mentioning before, dart about 18 yards, not a whole lot there, but they did run it in a few times. This is because Jake Taylor's coming back. So they asked Jake Taylor to pull across the line and find somebody. Basically, we can look at that later. We hit the flat. We did some inside zone. We ran some insert. Pin and pull came into. I call it pin and pull. We'll look at the film. Had some outside zones. Split zones finally getting faded out. Split zone I'm sick of. That's the same play that was in the back of the end zone for a safety. That's the same play. He would run it. Latrell would call it back to back for negative plays. We just tight ends coming across the formation. It just doesn't work. So what does work? Dart, Jake Taylor, pulling across the line, great pull pass, tight to the line, and find somebody who's got great eyes. So we ran trap a few times, and that's about it. So 34% of the time we have ace twins, which is tight end at the end line with two receivers. We 20% of the time we had Trey, a tight end, split out trips, and twin sack, and then kind of just little mixture there. Um, there's screen 7 times. We had 6 failed plays, inside zone. Dart we ran twice. So we only ran it twice, but I mean, that is something that they're working on. Like, you're not putting in the game unless you practiced it. So they're practicing it. Jake Taylor comes back. They run it for the first time all year. I feel like them finding some power game to go and kind of condense the use of inside zone will help this offense be a little bit more diverse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
That's
stat
what's
there.
missing.
Yeah, well, your quarterback rush scramble was the highest count there, and that's not what you want every game necessarily.
Yep. Yep. There was a good curl to JJ Hester. Dart
Good,
twice for
good,
9. Look at
good.
that.
Yeah, there was a good slant to Sharp there that was called back on that penalty.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
a slant or a seam. I'm not sure what that was, but it was a good pass.
Yeah. But I feel like adding Jake Taylor is kind of a big deal because like this is different than the last 4 games. I'm hoping that there's something that we can build there. I'm not particular about Tarquin. He's still my below average weakest link on the O line. He likes to play patty cake. That's what I nicknamed him. But because he gave up pressures and he can't pull. So, but I think Jake Taylor he's he could be an X factor going forward as far as the offense taking the next step. Um, Yards per attempt.
I still don't think he was 100%.
No, I don't think he is.
No,
I don't think he is.
another 2 weeks. He got to be right there. So
And everything, yeah. Running back yards per attempt, our best since Temple, looking good there. Um, I mean, Devontae Barnes is running really damn hard.
he
Like,
is.
he
Yep.
he runs hard, and his vision's getting a little bit better. There's still some plays where he's missing holes, but he's getting a little bit. That's where I like the gap scheme because they don't read. They just, hey, that's the hole. You run zone, they have to sit there and read it. Duo too, you kind of have to manipulate the backer. With power, it's one gap, go. So I'm hoping that they kind of work that more of that in. SEC Air Show, for whatever reason, PFF's coverage versus scheme from the API didn't pull in. I checked twice; it wasn't pulling in the zone, but it did pull in air yards. So let me zoom in so we can actually see. Deep plays, 20 over air yards. There's 3 now. Now that we got JJ Hester with a 60-yard bomb, still, down there at the bottom. 10 to 19 air yards. Where are we? There we are, middle of the pack, a little bit better. And then, of course, 0 to 9 air yards. That's where we kind of live.
Yeah. I'm not completely discouraged by some of those numbers at this stage of the year, considering the
Now,
challenges that we've had. So
I've got a question for you.
Mhm.
What do you take from this?
What
This
is
is
wide receiver?
wide receiver reception percentage. It is the best we've had all year.
I think the youth and the guys are just getting comfortable. I think it's getting comfortable, and there's something else too.
Quarterback?
I feel like Hawkins was maybe a little better at throwing guys open. That's what
I
it
think
felt like to
so.
me.
I mean, he threw JJ open. Like, I mean, JJ got open, but he
No,
put him in
JJ
stride.
Sharp was in stride. There was, uh, yeah, I
I
felt like there were some on the money passes. I can't remember one where he was way off the mark. There was a couple. He was getting pressure, so he, kind of threw
Yeah.
it out of bounds, threw it away, whatever. But
I mean,
I hope,
this is a
uh,
huge jump. I mean, it
yeah, that
went
is.
from like 68%
Mhm.
to like 55% to boom, 77%. I don't know.
No,
I thought that was interesting. I was like,
yeah,
dang. And then you
combination
look
of
at
O line protection, quarterback, and
yep.
receivers.
And then to
Holding on
go
to the
along with
ball
that, quarterback completion rating. This is completion percentage. Best in 5 weeks. This is the best game of quarterbacks had since all year.
on the road.
I mean, he was 10. Yes, he only threw 10 passes. I get it. 10 to 15. I got
15.
that, but
Yep, yep.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, he's still I mean, a 60-yard bomb, the Bauer sharp wheel, like you said, he's throwing guys open. Like he's throwing
Mhm.
I mean, he's laying it. I mean, he's throwing good balls,
Yep.
and it's
Yeah,
making this offense tick.
it is. It is. You stretch the field what, once or twice at most? Was Hester by far the longest play? I'm assuming it
Yes,
was.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got a better quarterback rating. I mean, he's got one big time throw. Here's one that I thought was interesting. He has 5 throwaways on the year, and I feel that's actually not it's not a bad stat. I think it's good. I mean, he's not taking sacks. He's sacked, 4 times. Arnold's been sacked 9, but I feel like Mike knows plays dead, get rid of it.
Mhm.
Instead of just running to the sideline and try to make something happen like he's gonna turn a corner or he just runs out of bounds. Like Mike just says, um, plays dead. Whoop, out.
Yeah. That elite speed always helps sometimes with escapability.
Yeah. Pass rush, edge. R. Mason Thomas with 6 sacks. It's the most sacks by an edge player in the SEC right now. I'll say that again. RMT has 6 sacks at the edge position, the most by any edge position in the SEC.
Wow. Yeah.
How in the world, man? All we've been saying
Chavis, you can get off your little hot seat for a little while.
just a little bit. But
Little
yes,
bit.
like
I didn't say
sit
to run away. Just get off your hot seat for a couple
you
minutes.
know, he's sitting here. I mean, he's still I mean, total wins wise, he's down here
Yeah.
in the top 10. You still got Folk, you got Umalayan, you got Kennard and Overton. But I mean, he's doing dang good, man. And if we want to look at this right now, 5 games into the season compared to years past, I mean, we're already better than we're actually just slightly under
Just below
2021.
21. Yep.
I mean, that's great, man. Like
Yeah,
that
it
is
really
really
is.
good.
Yeah, that was the defensive end room and pass rush from the end room was, one of the things that we really wanted to see pick up this year, and it's coming along great.
So here's our weekly check-in with Danny Stutzman, and this is run snaps only. He has 20 stops on his run snaps, which is the most in the SEC. So he's still the best run defender, even though I feel like the last couple weeks he's been it kind of dipped a little bit.
We've used him kind of in a different role where he wasn't being asked to make all the
Yeah.
tackles. But that's not acceptable. We can't have him leading the league like that. That's not right.
Who has the most Yeah, I know, right. Who has the most stops on run snaps?
Mm.
Oklahoma does with
Huh.
107.
Wow.
This is an elite team. You can stop the run and you have edge pressure.
Yeah.
That
I
That's
need I need those long pass plays to not happen for me to use the word elite consistently. That's just me. Um, but very good. I'm with very good right now.
I mean,
Give me
I
a
just
week without long balls, and I'm elite, and
look at
I'll stay
this
there. Oof.
run stop win history. Oklahoma, by far since 2016, is so far like clearly the best
Mm.
run stop. This is pure run snaps, run stop efficiency, run stop win rate. Sorry, basically. That's wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love
that's pretty good.
I love the edge
Phew.
the defense plays with. You know, when you are a good defense and you show up with that mentality, kind of nastiness, or just you show up, your chest out, just able to just produce game in and game out. I just
Yep.
that's got to feel good as a defense to show up every week. I'm glad
It,
they
it,
showed up on the road finally. You know,
yeah. And you've got one of the best run defenses in the country, and you've got edge pressure. I mean, that's the makings for a really damn good defense, man. So let's look at DBs. So DB, like I said, DBs are kind of hard. It's kind of weird to like figure out how because there's so many snaps and there's so many targets and everything. So let's look at like 100 coverage snaps. There's 65 players in the SEC. So here's the averages for all the like the average of all those 65. If we wanted, I mean, Kanai Walker now is starting to sneak up to here. This is here, let me sort it like this. So Kanai
I
Walker,
don't feel like they picked on him as much this game like they did in the Tennessee game.
yeah, so I've got it sorted with 19. So um he's still in the top, he's top 10 in targets,
Mm-hmm.
and he's given up 19.3 yards reception. But let's take a look at Dez. So Dez is sitting here. Oh, sorry. Wrong way. He's got 17 targets, 11 yards of reception. Not bad. I mean, it's not bad. Here, let's do this.
Here he is.
There he
Yeah,
is.
yeah, about 15th.
Okay,
Definitely.
so with filtering with 100 snaps and yards per reception, giving up 11, he's 14th in the SEC. That's not terrible.
Hmm.
He gave up that touchdown, which is a bummer, right?
Right.
Getting targeted that deep, but I mean, 17 targets, 9 receptions. I don't know. I've been just watching Dez. I feel like Dez and Kanai could really take this defense to a whole nother level if you've got an island corner or a boundary corner that you can rotate or super rotate to the other side, and you can just meg him up with another receiver and have him go to town. Because that, with the edge pressure and the run defending going, his defense would be absolutely incredible. But yeah, I mean, he's got, I mean, 17 targets and 9 receptions. It's pretty good. And 11 yards a clip isn't terrible. Actually, that's pretty good. I mean, if you're saying he's a top 15 corner
Right.
out of 26, I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So,
Who was down there at the bottom? Keep scrolling down. I saw.
Kanai,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I will say, Eli's, playing some good ball and probably gonna, you know, take away a few snaps. He's playing great as a freshman. Undersized, but man, he plays big.
yeah, he does. You can tell that these Bowen brothers are pretty technically sound.
Hmm.
Like they've had some training for sure. Let's move on to O line. So O line, um, we our weekly check in. So we've now have the fourth most fails on offense on the offensive line at 39.
Okay.
Uh, Again, this run gap and run zone split is slowly shrinking. But yeah, we've got 39 total fails, which includes 27 hurries, 3 hits, and 9 sacks. I bet you in this last game it was not as much compared to
Right,
the other
right.
games. I
Yeah.
needed I'll have some sort of weekly
No, I agree
breakdown on
with you,
that.
and I was thinking we were, like, 2nd last week because I think you had that same stat, so I think we've actually improved just a little.
Yeah, I think we're coming down. So allowed pressure, our left tackle 50% on the year, quarterback allowed pressure 52%. I could put a weekly like flip where it's like year and weekly. I could do like a flip on that. Uh, so this is right here, total fails. This is a total fail history, just to kind of a check in. So 24, that 39. Last year we had 86, 82, 100. I feel like this 39, that run rate's going to slow down a bit and we'll end up somewhere around here in the 22, 23 range. I don't think we're going to end up at 101 unless we have a disastrous game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as we see here,
That's 10 a game or about 8 a game on average right now, right?
yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
mean
that's
that's
gonna have
quite a
to
bit.
slow down considerably.
That's quite a bit. But if you look at here history wise, I mean, we're looking at, I mean, it's tricking up to 2019 level where we graduated our Joe Moore Award offensive line, where we had like Marquise Hayes and Tyrese Robinson and Creed for his first year and Bobby Evans, I believe.
Mhm,
So I feel like you get health, Jake Taylor coming back and hope he stays healthy and we've got that same 5 would be nice. The same 5 every week would be nice so that they can gel, they can figure out how to allow an overtake so that the guard can work the second level type of stuff
mhm.
instead of all the ins and outs. But yeah, is there anything you want to take a look at or you think I think we've walked through it all?
No, I think that's yeah, that's good on the offensive side. There's some things improving, and that's what you wanna see, of course. Guys getting healthy, and you wanna see that translate into, some improvement on the offensive side of the ball and defense for that matter, but, um,
Yeah.
no, that's always like the stats. You go a lot deeper than what people can just look at in a, box score and stuff, so it's always
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah. Yeah, I think, we're still I mean, if you wanna sum it up a little bit, I mean, you're still looking for your vertical element in the passing game. You're looking at continuing the edge pressure, and you're looking at bringing the pass blocking efficiency, bringing that back down so that, your run rate, you wanna fail less, and hopefully you can, um, not end up with over 100 fails on the season, and then run game, run stop, it's great. Our offensive run game, we're still trying to figure something
Mhm,
out.
mhm.
We need to stop leaning on quarterback rush and scrambles, like you mentioned. We need to find an actual concept on running the football, our bread and butter. We don't have it, and a vertical concept that pushes those EVs back. I
Yeah,
mean, if you
yeah.
wanted to summarize it all up.
No, and I agree. Getting Tatum back, he's going to help that running game a little bit. But we, until we have a good running game to keep the defense, respectful. You can't do play action or anything off of that until you're able to gash people for some runs. So
Yeah, that the missing.
everything's connected.
Yep.
This doesn't work. It affects this not being able to be effective. So it's just if we can get a good running game going, offense may take off.
Mhm.
We're not going to be top 10 offense this year, and I think we're fine with that. You know,
With this defense, you don't have to be. You just need
no
top
top.
30.
That's what I was about to say. Top 30, 40 is going to get the job done
Like
most days.
like, score on
Um,
half your drives or a little bit like score a 6 out of your 10 drives, and whether it's field goals and touchdowns and your defense gets a pick 6 every once in a while. I'm
uh,
still waiting for special teams for a special teams touchdown,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you're just blowing the lid off of people. You're a consistent, sound, physical, hard-nosed football team that nobody wants to play, especially with that defense.
I think yeah, you touched on special teams. I think they just been asking Bowen, to possess the ball on those punts and not try to
Yeah,
do anything special yet.
yeah,
That's going to have to change soon. Like you said, he's going to have to, you know, take a few more chances, so to speak.
yeah, yeah,
And you don't have to take one to the house, but if you can flip the field 40 yards, that's a big deal. Um,
yeah.
uh, yeah, no, offense coming along, defense, just keep doing your thing. Special teams, you know, just keep being special or a little more than that. So
Keep being special.
exactly.
Let's dive in to the all 22 and just uh, give it a good watch. Yeah, so this early going, this is all offense. Um, I left this in here. Mentioned earlier about the screen game. Got the screen game going. Got them going horizontal. Um, this was a good play. As
I'm a big fan of those pitch outs like that, those swing pitches. Give some guy an opportunity to find some space.
Yeah, so it's almost like a pin and pull. That it's still zone blocking. There's zone stepping, but if you saw here, and I don't have my drawing tool, but um, you could see they have watch over here on the tight end right here is going to come down and actually work down the line and hit this nose tackle. And all these guys are just going to zone step. It kind of looks, it's almost like a pin and pull, but you can see his eyes is looking straight down the line, and he just, whoop, it's just a zone step. It's not really a pin and pull, but it's being blocked like one. I thought that was pretty cool. And then here's some insert.
Yeah, Javante's running. He's running hard right now.
Here's the play. So they're all running man coverage here. Everyone's manned up. He's already decided to run when Brennan Thompson hasn't even gone across the field yet. And number 4 of Auburn was just in man coverage, and you're not gonna be able to run in man coverage because Mike will find a way to
Yeah,
beat you out of it. Some outside zone stuff. Take the perimeter shot, you know?
yeah,
Just take the perimeter. Keep spreading them horizontally as much as you can.
yeah, and let your those receivers got to do a really good job of making that one guy miss. If you can make one guy miss, that's an extra 3 or 4 yards every time.
There's another screen. Ran 7 screens, 7, 8 screens, which is about as many as we've done all year. So we're in the second quarter. New drive. Gotta go to a.
I felt like
This is what.
he could have hit
Yep.
Petaway early there, man, and he had 10 or 15 yards easy.
Yeah. So they're Auburn's running cover 3 here. This safety's gonna sink. There's your hook, and he's got it wide open here. He's
Mm-hmm.
letting it happen. But we just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Another screen. Wish we blocked it a little bit better. Second quarter, 3rd and 7, money down. We were only 2 and 11 on 3rd down. that we already just saw one with Hawk to the end zone. I just I don't know. This so they got a stack here and they're just manned up on it. I mean, he's got the top hat, he's got the point. They're trying to sneak it in there, but I just felt like that if you see this, you could have easily bent this out the other way. It would have been an easy pitch and catch. You got to be able to. I mean, as an OC, as you kind of play with your stacks, you can figure out how they defended it just like this all game long,
Mhm,
and there
mhm.
was ways that you could have manipulated it, but you played right into the hand there.
Right.
You can always come back later and bend it out, an out route, a sail route, something.
So do you think that's up to the receiver to alternate? Like,
No, no, that
okay,
that's a call from Latrell. There's no choice routes in this offense. I wish there was,
yeah,
but there's been a
you
lot
know,
of plays that they coulda had a choice route at, like, for Burks, and he woulda scored in games prior.
yeah, you just hope, Travis Kelsey is the perfect example, that can go out and just, ad lib. He feels it. He feels the inside presence and can just bump it outside.
Oh, yeah. Working them outside, right?
Mm,
Horizontal, perimeter game,
mhm,
outside zone, off tackle, whatever you gotta do to get them going east-west, and I like that because we don't have a vertical game, so there's only no other way you can go. This was covered good. I felt like they defended it good. He's got a pocket here. He coulda sat there, but there's nothing downfield, so he has to take
mhm,
off.
mhm.
Auburn's crashing this down, and so we're just bending it back. Just bending it outside. Got ace twins here. Play action. Take a shot. He had him. Had him beat.
Yeah.
Just not a good ball,
Mhm,
but it was there. I was gonna try to draw here if my drawing wasn't bad, but like Auburn really took the middle of the field
mhm,
away,
mhm.
and pay attention to that because that's what we make them pay later. Got a stack at the bottom. Pocket just dissolved. Probably could have held it a little bit longer, but I don't think
Mhm.
anybody was open.
Mm.
Get that screen game. Didn't
Boy,
didn't get
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I wish he'd have grabbed that one.
Here's another screen. Like I said, they try to really work their screen game, try to get pressure off of Huck, but also just get them to respect something. He did a good job there being patient, gotten rid of it. It's covered. He had a guy open, so like right here. See, Brennan Thompson's right here.
Mm,
He's
yeah.
open.
Yep.
But just as he throws it, a guy puts his hand up, and so he pulls it back. Watch 97 here.
Right.
He puts his big old paw up. He tucks it, and then he's like, "Okay, I gotta get out of here." But that was a good play there, about to happen. Here's your dart play. Jake Taylor right here, gonna pull across. They're just gonna hand it. This is a good old power play. We haven't ran this at all this year. Do you see that? Boom.
Nice. Yep.
I don't know why they didn't run that more, but I'm expecting that more. There has to be more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's your split zone step. Tight end comes around. Barnes not quite know which hole he wants to go in. He kind of danced a little bit too much. He should have just go, and that's why I like the power plays because like
Yeah,
just
yeah. I
stop
think.
dancing, just go.
Hmm. Yeah, I think he'll figure out the holes as long as the offensive line can start being a little more consistent on their run blocks. So
This was blocked pretty well. You just hope that Sexton could get a bigger piece. So here's Sexton. I'm sorry, Sexton's right here. Like he lets 12 dance around him. He needs to buzz his feet, big man. Don't let him get around you. You don't have to like run all the way. He could have stopped like right here.
right.
Just stop right there. Build a fence. Build a wall
Yep.
right
Yep.
there. Don't go any further. Just build a fence. Let Hawkins do all. Just be a big, but he gets up the field just a little bit too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
There, there's Dart again, and I thought Jake Taylor did a great job here with a uh pressure coming off this edge. He's coming in. This is tackle, backside tackle. Get a wrap. I like Jake's pull path, and this pressure comes out, and he does a really good job of just getting just a piece of him. It's hard, but you can't ask for better than that. To be honest, You can't get there any quicker. Hawkins, hero
Hmm.
ball. I mean,
Hmm.
that's just hero ball. Just hero.
Do you think
And
they'll?
here,
Do you think they'll slowly bring a little RPO back in? I know we're glad they took it out for this
it.
game. Do you think that'll
I'm
slowly
glad you mentioned
come
that.
back
Yes, they did.
in?
Uh, I hope they don't. They need
Yeah.
they need to get some more concepts built in first. But look at this. So this is one of Hester's plays here. I mean, this is just good for him, man. I'm glad he's getting first team reps now in
Yep.
practice, so
Yep.
he's getting his one-on-one time with Emmett, and I think he's going to make the most of it. I put this in here. We got to be
Yep.
reminded of this,
Hmm.
like extending plays, right? Everyone talk about extending plays, extending plays. Extends the play. He throws it, but this is only to his guy. Like
Right.
this is not.
He allowed
This
the
is like
penalty. He allowed the
yes,
penalty to be meaningful. Yep.
he threw the penalty.
Yep.
Like that is baller from a true freshman on the road. I mean, this is late in the third quarter. We're down we're down 10 points. Is that what it said? Yeah, or sorry, 7 points.
Still 7. Yeah, it was on 14-7 for a
Sorry.
long time.
But I mean, this is a great play. Like a play that doesn't end up on the stat sheet, but awesome for a true freshman.
Mhm. Mhm.
Here's a stupid split zone. I hope they get rid of this shit. I'm so sick of this. This is so stupid. Why? For so they're putting the tight end in motion. There's trips over here, and he's creating split zone, creating an extra gap. Everyone's zone blocks, uh, just blocks air. I mean, defense has seen that play so much. We just can't execute it. Here we go. How about we fake the split zone? That'll fool them. So here we go. Fake jet jet motion. Here we go. We're gonna PA. And nope, they ran that in the first drive of Temple. Auburn's everyone in the SEC by now has seen that Latrell loves split zone. Okay,
Right.
anyways. So this is what is this, third down? It's 3rd and 2. Great play. Oh, but there's a penalty flag. Gets called back. Here we go. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7. Watch this. Watch the flat out here. Watch Javonte and Jake Roberts. I'm not sure. This looks like a design call to me to Javonte.
Mm-hmm.
Because look how, like, you got 3 routes. They're all on the same side of the field. You don't really see, and he's not rolling out here like some sort of quick pass, quick rollout. We're gonna put, no, this look. You got a Auburn player sitting out here on an island with Jake Roberts as as a blocker. I don't. I think that might have been a mis execution there. So here's the uh, the wheel route to Bauer. So we get a field goal. It's 21-10. Wheel route to Bauer. JJ Hester's gonna push this corner. This corner here that's over JJ Hester and the safety, those two were having some miscommunication all through the game. I felt like, because you'll see this safety here, he will point and tell him, "Hey, I've got him. I've got him." These two were not. This corner here was, I think, was lost half the game. And maybe Latrell saw that or somebody saw it and was like, "Hey, we could play off of that." And you got Bauer over here, um, highlighted, and this is just a great
Mm-hmm.
ball
Mm-hmm.
right in the hole. But if you go back just a tick, that safety here, he reads it, he sees it, and he's like, "Hey, I'm right here. Come off." And it's too late.
Yeah, I like Sharp with the ball in his hands. I've been on him about his blocking, but when he gets in the open field, I like his ability to make guys miss and extend plays.
So here's Jake Taylor right here. I wish I had my drawing tool. It's broke. But here's Jake Taylor here. And this is pin and pull. This is classic Seth Luttrell finally coming in from North Carolina. We saw tons of pin and pull. You got a down block, pull your right tackle, pull your right guard. This is 13 personnel. You got 3 tight ends, little toss out here. You got your big boys. You got Jake Taylor and you got Wee Woo leading the way. I love this. We need more. Like, they didn't run this very much. They finally, how and what? I mean, I don't know why they've waited till game 5, but I'm assuming it's because of Jake Taylor. I don't know what else, because that's the only thing that changed from the prior 4 weeks. You inserted Jake Taylor, and all of a sudden we've got pin and pull, and we've got dart. All of a sudden, I mean, it's and I so even Salchuk was doing good. I know it's
Mm-hmm.
got
Mm-hmm.
called back, but I mean, just our run game definitely took a step forward in our screen game. Thank God we started doing screens.
Right.
Like, there was a couple games there we weren't doing screens.
Right. Yeah. Take out RPO, insert screens. Yeah. Good trade off.
I'm giving him a hard time, but Mr. Patty Cake got beat here. Like, he got his hands. Watch. So right here, left tackle number 70. Watch his hands right here. Boom, and he's done. Just a little double swipe there, a little swipe. Got him. So here's
It's just a Hester play.
Yeah, so here 21-10, 2nd and 8. You got Petaway that's going to come in. Watch these 3 defenders just get sucked in. So, and like I mentioned earlier in the game, how Auburn was choking the middle of the field. There's so many players that are choking the middle of the field, and they were just reading Hawkins' eyes. You got Auburn with 3 defenders covering 1. Take the shot. Great pass. I
Yeah.
mean, that is
Right on
just
the money.
that is a thing of beauty. I mean, you
Didn't break
full
stride.
stride. Nope.
Didn't break
I mean,
stride.
he
Yep.
is nope, full
Mm-hmm.
stride.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have to. That's the best pass I've seen from a quarterback in 3 years. It is. This is the best pass we have seen in 3 years. He launched it at the 30.
Yeah, I was so okay.
30 to about the 15? 13?
So 60 yard pass, roughly, close to.
Air yards?
Yeah,
That's a 60-yard pass?
uh, pretty close, just under 60.
That
Effortless.
QB1, man. That's QB1.
Yeah,
Like that's QB1. He's throwing balls for penalties. He's throwing away dead plays and he's dropping dimes 60 yards downfield.
boy, I could have drove a truck through
And
that hole. Did you see that hole?
yeah.
Man, where's a hawk when you need it? Where's a helicopter? Oh, that wasn't that play. Never mind. Dial it up, Rob. Do we have a helicopter here?
Oh, this right here?
Yep. Here we go. Bee.
That's wild. All right, so let's go defense. So we offense did its job, big play, not turn the ball over. Defense, we can skip some of this since I don't have my drawing tool. But uh, I kept this play in there because look at where RMT. I don't know if you can
Hmm.
see this, but RMT is sitting here as a linebacker. He's right here. I
I
just thought it was funny. Just
I
sitting in
love
space.
I love the versatility that Brent asks of his team.
I
I
mean,
do.
Ford's a linebacker.
I love it.
RMT
Guys
it's
play two,
yeah.
3 different positions. I love it.
Almost picked this one
Oof.
off.
Yeah.
3rd and 10. They gave up. End of story. Let's move on. So, okay, I think this is where I wanted my drawing tool right after this because um, defensively they were seeing a really good some adjustments from Auburn as far as like how they were attacking us with the run game. Um, Not this play. There's a couple plays in here. But they were flying over the ball. There was a little chess match between the run game and the fronts that we were presenting. Turn around, bright eyes. So he like I don't okay. I f- I guess he is out of phase there because he's not on his hip pocket, so it
Yeah.
makes sense.
That was just one of those things where his arm just didn't come down at the right time. You notice that? He could have
Yeah,
easily knocked that away.
yeah,
Split
yeah.
second.
Take that out. Yeah,
Split second.
scratch that.
Yeah.
Here's 3rd and 3. Just defense. Deshaun Terry, man. Good lord. This dude's a monster.
Yeah.
So
Another
watch the
goal line
watch
stand, man. God dang.
he did it last year. So like look watch him over 77. He just throws this guy. He just bodies him. He's like, get the hell out of my way. Like the dude is a monster.
Yeah.
4th and 1. They had no chance. They brought in Sam Franklin, their California transfer quarterback, to try to do something. Watch Danny. Danny does the dirty work here. So Danny's sitting right here, and he's scraping over the top, but he avoids this block from number 72, and he takes the block from the corner, which allowed Billy Bowman to come in here and finish that play. Otherwise, it could have been a
Mhm.
touchdown, and even though he had
Mhm.
Kobe McKenzie come over the top, but that's team defense, and Stutzman led the way there. He made a great move.
Oof.
Woolard with the batted. So this is the
Yeah.
next drive. Woolard with the batted pass. End of drive. Going to the next drive. So that's 3 drives there. Let me see here. Doing some boomerang stuff. I felt like this was like a little rub here. So the receiver is running just a spear route and runs right next and just create himself a little bit of space. It was actually a pretty good little X's and O's there. Here's
Yeah.
3rd and 3, same drive. This is the play I was like, we need to take a look at again.
It's just a competitive play there,
Yeah,
really.
he's out of phase.
Yeah.
So he's out of phase. He completely lost, and so he has no. I mean, when once you're out of phase, like you don't earn the right to turn around. So I was wrong about that earlier. Now watching it for the 4th and 5th time, he is playing it like you're supposed to. You got to knock the hands.
Yep.
So he just got beat there. So here, this is the play right here. So like last week we were run. This is a little bit different, but we got a 3 down front. This 52 is going to work off of Stone and get up to the second level. Here's Ford at linebacker. And then this tight end here is going to double this defensive end and work to Stutzman. And how our 3 down front worked last time, this defensive end would cut off here, but it doesn't work because you've got this pull from a guard instead of a tackle. Tennessee ran dart. This is more of like a trap. And they're going, I mean, there's just no one there. And so like they were messing with our 3 down front, and so OU was kind of given some passive pressure, meaning stemming the front a little bit, going from four down to 3 down, and Auburn was sitting there checking back and forth their run play. So it was a little bit of cat and mouse back and forth.
Hmm. We knew going in the SEC there was going to be a lot of that cat and mouse game with coordinators. There's, you know, good as coordinators as there is in the country in that conference. So
Yeah, they Auburn had a pretty good run game plan. I felt like here's another one. So that last play, we had a 3 down front, but it was wide splits. We had B gaps open. We were trying to crash in. This time, we said, okay, we're gonna go 4 eyes, and we're gonna close that B gap. And what ends up happening is you got this guard that's pulling around. They're gonna. It's the same play. They're just gonna crash it. I mean, look, it's the same exact play, but
mhm.
what's different? Billy Bowman's a little bit late compared to last year, and this guard has already worked up to second level, whereas Tennessee was not doing that. Tennessee was not having their guard immediately work up to second level. They were crashing down the line. Remember, we took a picture of it and we had,
Mhm.
3 guys and we had like 4 or 5 dudes. They obviously watched that game and said, we can't do that. We got to get this guard on the play side to work up to the second level. And we'll use our defensive end on our tight end to crash this B gap. Ethan Downs is doing his job. Like he's not getting washed here. Maybe you want to see him pin it a little bit better, but as soon as that happens, he pinned the B gaps down here. Stutzman has to get north and south in a hurry. That tight end is coming. And they also added that little wrinkle here of adding that guard to Kip, which now look at that. So now we don't have that +1 from that 3 high look that's going to come in and make everything right. You got this giant hole here, and Bowman now has a giant tackle, 350-pound tackle. You can't ask him to do anything with that. So what do we do? That's what ended up happening. So they were like, okay, 3 down front, we're going to run this play. If it's 4 down front, we're going to do this. And so they kind of just played cat and mouse with it over and over again. And that's why we were seeing these runs where they were gashed. And then they catch us. This is an early down. I think this is like first down. Yep, this is first down. So first and second down, we are incredibly aggressive on early downs to stop the run. Look at all these guys. Look at all these run fitters.
Mhm.
This is
Mhm.
like legit like 9-man spacing. Like you're look at all these eyes in the backfield.
Zero safety help deep.
You
None.
right, right. I mean, and I mean, you're gonna get asked for that over the top. So what do we? Okay, now we're in an even front. We got a 5-9. You got a 3. You got a 2, and you got a 5 over here. But watch how kicking. So instead of a 4-eye, you go even. Now you got this guy shaded, and you tell Ward, okay, you're not your responsibility is not this B gap anymore. It's Kobe McKenzie now. And look how the edge is a little bit different, right? He's on the outside, and it's the same run play. This is exactly there's the guard that pulled, but now there's no space. And so that's what they were doing. Auburn was looking at the front, and they were sitting there trading back and forth which run concept they were going to run, and they were really good at it. I mean, Hugh Freeze was calling a good game, and we made adjustments as we went along. Like I said in the last pod, like you can't run that 3 high safety against every offensive system. Like it's just you can't do it. And here's Ford, man. Like Ford is having like a strip sack like strip every game. It ends up getting picked up, but Ford is having a great year.
I thought they were maybe going to overturn that and call it a incomplete pass. I thought his arm might have been coming forward, but
So this is the second quarter, and we needed pressure. We needed to stop them from scoring a touchdown here. They decided not to block Woolard. He missed on a great sack, but we get off the field and only give up 3 points here, which was good. Great. And good. So let's kick over to
let's get to the fourth quarter. Let's get to the good stuff.
okay. More of that 3-down run front, still running that same pin and pull. All right, let's go fourth quarter. Here's that Bowen one
Yeah.
that we talked about. Little push there. I felt like that was a little
No,
bit of a
for sure.
push.
Just got him
You can
turned
see it better
around. You
here.
get a guy turned around, you can do anything, and that's what he did there.
See it, little
Little shove
push,
in the back. Yep.
and he lost his balance, but he was in phase. He was in phase. He could have turned around and looked for the ball, but he got a little push there. Ugh. Anyway, so they go and score, right?
Yep.
And now we're down 21-10.
This is when we pull out the magic tarot cards. Oof. Forgot about that long run.
Yeah, fourth quarter, man.
Kip's energy, man, is just infectious.
Got to be better
Mm-hmm.
defending him back out of the backfield. If you get a fast 3, you gotta
Oof.
attack it.
Stutz has to make that tackle there too.
Yep. This is a pretty bad missed tackle. He has to get this.
Had him dead to right. Yep.
I think they were getting tired, man.
Probably.
3rd and 4. What happens? Uh-oh.
Drop back in coverage. Oof. Oof. I think about right here is when I was losing my mind.
So got this like what they would say like double muck or whatever. This is called bomber. This is a bomber front. So you got 5 on 6, and both Kip and Stutzman are going to stab and bail out. Like you could see them adding some layers to this look with a center read, and what you could do is wherever, like for instance, when they start sliding protection, wherever that center steps to, the opposite person goes and the other person drops, so that you have a 5-man pressure. But they both, so like they both bail out and I mean the quarterback doesn't see it. Then what a crazy call because they have a slant that's right behind him, like right behind him,
Hmm.
and like not only that, but like Kip is kind of falling back,
He was
or
falling to the
and he's and the
yep.
way that he's kind of behind the guard, he kind
He's
of
hidden.
hides,
Yeah.
and he just great execution, great play.
I wish someone could have picked up
What's
number
nuts is that
eight there.
Auburn didn't call a whole lot of slants and wide
Mm-mm.
crosses, like, there was only a
No.
few. And then here comes RMT because it's 2 minutes in the 4th quarter, right? It's 2 minutes in the 4th quarter, and we've scored a touchdown with a pick six, and then we're coming back with RMT, who
His
gets a
his nick
sack,
his nickname's the lawyer, which I love.
the lawyer.
R. Mason Thomas, like the law firm.
I mean, and he's getting held, of
Hmm.
course.
Hmm.
4th and 11. Who is it gonna be? Let's go the other side. Let's go play against the right tackle instead. But look at this. I wanna show you. This is the front I was telling you about. Look at this front. I was like, "Dang, look at this." So you got Stutzman, you got Holton, PJ, Ford, and RMT. I think that's your what do you call it? The SWAT package or NASCAR, so to
Hmm.
speak, NASCAR package. Here's another look. This is deep into the game. You got Halton, you got RMT, PJ, and Trace Ford. I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah. All those guys making those key plays, especially on defense. I think RSJ was in there. RMT had a couple. Yeah, it was nice to see.
And of course, the last play to ice the game, RSJ comes in and gets his sack and basically ices it.
Yeah,
Automatic, man.
the heat-seeking to
Automatic.
finish it off. Yep,
Automatic.
they
So
called on the
in
drone.
2 minutes, you had a pick six and 3 sacks.
Mm, impressive, impressive.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, good show. They made the plays when they had to.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Keep the game close. That's why you keep the game. If you can just keep the game close and in reach, you never know. You never know what can happen. And
Yep, yep.
everything came together there at the end. It was awesome.
This defense is good enough to keep you in
Yep. Yep.
all the games, especially with that fourth quarter attitude that they've got to go in and just lay waste to people. And RMT, RSJ, Kiplus, there's so many. Those are the three that did it this week. There's no telling who would do it next
Hmm.
week.
Hmm.
And that's just how talented the defense is. And there's some promising signs to this offense. I mean, they're starting to work the run concepts. Mike is being way more efficient. He's taking care of the football. He's doing some big plays. He's throwing 60-yard bombs and
Hmm.
into guys that are running in stride. I mean, there's a lot of promising things to this offense. You just hope that
Agreed.
they can keep building
Yep.
upon some concepts, and we need to find a vertical element, and, not rely on the defense to suck the middle of the field and we throw the top. There needs to be something that we find that we're really good at. Intermediate part of the field is barren as much as the deep part. So, but if they can find that run game and play great defense and a quarterback that is efficient, I mean, you're going to win a lot of games with that. So,
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you on the offense. You got perfect time for bye week. You can install more. You can give Hawkins 2 weeks of reps, 2 full weeks of reps. Put a little more install in there. Maybe you get a Burks back. You
mm,
get a Burks back. Here comes the intermediate stuff back. You got Hester, and we saw it on that one play. You got Hester and Thompson stretching the field. Get Burks in the middle, Sharp in the middle. You know, Roberts in the middle. Yeah, this offense. We haven't had a great offensive game yet. We're due
no,
for we're due for one of those games where we throw up, 28, 30 plus points. Will we get
Yeah.
it into 2 weeks? I don't know, but sure would be nice. That'd be a good time to show up.
Right.
So who knows? So yeah, good improvement by the offense and defense. You did your thing again. Just a great overall win and way to rally at the end.
For sure.
Yeah, we want to wrap things up here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, thanks for joining us again, everyone. Just enjoy the wins. They're hard to come by. Just enjoy them while they
Mhm.
happen. You never know. We got a tough schedule, but we're going to win some games down the road. So don't give up on this team. They're going to put together some good games ahead of us. So uh, until next time, we'll throw out a Texas preview. We have to do a big Texas preview here in about a week or so. So look forward to that. Until next time, Boomer Sooner.
See you guys.